Hey everyone, my name is Lynn.
And I'm Mark. Today we're going to be talking about our two favorite topics, agentic AI and data. Specifically, we're going to talk a little bit about interfaces. And I want to start with a story that was told to me by a colleague. So he was invited to a luncheon where Oprah Winfrey was the guest speaker. And he had a friend that just worshiped Oprah. And so this colleague said to his friend, "Do you want this ticket? Because Oprah's the guest speaker." And so the friend jumped at the chance. And at the luncheon, the ticket was for a table at the back of the room near the washrooms. And so Oprah spoke, and then I guess after she spoke, she went to the washroom. So she walked right by this guy's table. He jumped up and was so excited, and he rushed up to Oprah and said, "Oprah, it's always been my dream to have a selfie with you. Would you take a selfie with me?" And Oprah looked at him and said, "Sure, but I want you to dream bigger dreams." And so that's kind of our theme. Lynn and I feel that especially with the agentic AI, that leaders and organizations, managers are not thinking big enough. They're not dreaming these big dreams about their operational processes. They're down in the weeds thinking about chatbots, and really there's a much bigger opportunity around agentic AI, which is what we're going to be talking about. So let's jump right in with a very short case study. This case study relates to a convention center, one of our clients, and so they had an issue where essentially dual entry. They were entering all the schedules for their staff into a payroll scheduling system, and then they would have to enter those same schedules into their event system, which is called Momentous. Now, a good example would be like security guards that were scheduled to work at a particular, like let's say at a car show. So they would have to enter into two systems. So from left to right, what we do is we ingest the data via a REST API into Microsoft Fabric. So Fabric is the data platform that we're using. So that data gets into a lakehouse. And at that point, we're ready to do a bit of AI enrichment, which we use Anthropic Claude through the Claude API. And that's primarily, in this case, for data quality. And then at the end of that process, it gets written again through another REST API to Momentous to actually put the schedules into the event system. So I'm going to turn it over to Lynn now to talk about just one little piece of this puzzle.
All right, so this is a function from the notebook script that runs the information to avoid duplication when inserting new roles for these scheduling and payroll dual entries. So essentially, it just makes sure that it checks in the lakehouse that's already existed to ensure that there's no matching ID. And then essentially, once that it checks in the lakehouse that there's no duplicate entry, then it upserts this new row of the person for the payroll and the scheduling into the lakehouse here.
So really what we want to illustrate here is like, an end-to-end process. We're focused on many things, data quality. We're talking about automation between major systems. We're eliminating that duplicate entry, which could also affect data quality. Mm-hmm. So we're covering a lot of different things, but really it is a fairly simple process to orchestrate that. And it's also easy to measure that. So you can look at the performance of that, how many schedules are transferred per hour, and really keep an eye on it, which we'll talk about in a future video. Really about back to like the 90s, where re-engineering was really popular and mapping out the processes in an organization, making those more efficient. Well, now you can take that extra step of fully automating a process using agentic AI, which is extremely exciting. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today. And yeah, dream bigger dreams.
As Oprah says.